So the big question is diesel fuel going to hit $10 a gallon in marinas this year? My ability to predict the future is, it's so-so at best. However, if I was a betting man, which I am, it's going to go to $10. It might even be higher. Now, why would I say that? Just this morning on Friday, May 20th, right here in Seattle, it's $6.29 right across the way here for fuel at Seattle Boat Fuel Dock. Now, Washington doesn't have road tax on our diesel. It's dyed diesel, so it's just like getting agricultural diesel, okay? A lot of states don't have that. They still have the road tax sitting on top of it. So depending upon where you are, I think there's no question it's going to spike over $10, especially with the entire global crunch. You don't have to watch our video to learn all about that and supply chain and all the issues going on with diesel. But right now it's more scarce than even gasoline. So, how do you deal with that?
We're going to talk about top 3 ways that we are going to combat some of those prices.
So welcome aboard, don't forget to subscribe, and here we go. Join us on the Elli-Yacht as we realize our 5-year plan with the kids grown up, moved out, graduated from college. We take the dog, sold everything, and kitted out the boat so we can cruise the Pacific Northwest, all while living and working in the heart of Seattle.
So we're going to go over 3 items. It's go slower, go shorter, and go smarter. And we are going to start with number 3.
That's right. And by the way, this is going to be a super rough edit because we're going to get out on the water today, but we wanted to make sure to get this out, especially since I think people are starting to, well, they're starting to get a little concerned and starting to make decisions around this. So number 3, go smarter. Look, there's a couple ways to go smarter. So the first one is call around.
Calling around to the different fuel docks.
Right.
We called 3 of them and we got 3 completely different prices. What were the prices?
Yeah, so the most expensive one was $6.29, no cash discount, no volume discount. Now the one that was all the way at the other end, for cash, 400 gallons, so a volume discount, it was $4.76 at Ballard Oil. Now Ballard Oil, they supply all of the diesel for the entire, the fleet that does all the fishing that you'll see on Deadliest Catch and those types of things. They don't mess around. They're always the best price, and some marinas will actually, they'll match. So even if you're kind of farther away and you call a place and they're going to give you a better deal, give your local marina the chance to match them. We've had pretty good luck with that, where it might be 5 cents more or whatever, but they're local.
Yeah, when you're talking, several hundred gallons of fuel, it adds up fast.
It really does, yeah. We don't have to preach that to anybody on that one, right? Let me see. The next one is, your currents and your weather. So within Go Smarter, look, sailboaters have learned this a long time ago. Everyone who has a trawler out there, you guys have all learned this as well. You guys do 8-9 knots tops. If you hit a current that's 10 knots, you're not going anywhere fast and you're just burning fuel. So the boats that are semi-planing holes, we go faster. We're 15 knots or more. It's gonna save us a lot of. Well, it's going to save us a lot of fuel this year if we start looking at the charts. Now, let me take a look because I want to show you. So this is Navionics. We have a video on our top 10 apps. Take a look at that. So I'm not going to go too deep. But you're going to see, when you zoom in on Navionics, you will see these little arrows. And they go back and forth, and they have red and they have blue, and they're just the currents. And if you click on the arrow, and there's a little question mark next to it, I'm not going to go into all the details. You're figuring it out. You're smart people. But see down below, you can see where there's this current prediction for that particular area. So as you scroll back and forth, it'll show you when the slack tide is going to be, when you're going to be in full flood, and you can really keep track of your currents. And up in the Pacific Northwest, you can really choose your routes, you can choose the time of day that you're going to leave, and it can make a huge difference on your fuel burn. So when we talk about Go Smarter, start looking at those parts of your charts as well. Navionics is dirt cheap, and when we're talking about $10 a gallon diesel, it's going to be money well spent just to put that on your phone and start using that feature as well. Okay, here's the last one, is fuel burn. So on our boat, we integrated our Raymarine axioms into our engines. So they're both on the NEMA 2000 network. And that gives us the ability to see the fuel burn and let the Raymarine multifunction displays that are keeping track of the speed that we're at as well, it actually just divides it out and it shows you your nautical mile burn rate. And so you can make a decision, really, where's your sweet spot when you're thinking about, you know, do you go slower, do you go faster? There's an area, especially on a semi-displacement hull where you're looking to plane, you'll burn more fuel in this middle range between going really slow and going faster. I like the sweet spot, 2500, 16.7. Keeps us on a plane, keeps the fuel burn low. And having that information is invaluable. We've really honed in on our sweet spot of really the right RPM to hit. And then also, you might say, oh, well, I could figure that out and I'd be done. I just always run at that cruising speed. Well, then you start taking weather into account. You start taking currents into account again. And having that information at your fingertips and being calculated real time really does help you make better decisions on what's that sweet spot for burning fuel. Now,
Number 2.
That's right.
Go shorter.
Yeah. Now, this might be a duh, but, you know, being on your boat is better than being anywhere else in the entire world. Just being at the dock, even. Pick a great marina. The people are wonderful. There's really second to none as far as the type of people that are in the boating community. So even just go down and just sit on the boat at the marina. You know, and if you're a lake boater, go launch and go float around. You don't have to burn a lot of fuel to do that. Mm-hmm. So that would just be our recommendation.
Which takes no fuel when you're at the dock.
That's right, 0 fuel. You know, the other ones, we're starting to do calculations now. If we go up to the San Juans, because the fuel burn, you know, it's easy to figure out what it's going to cost us to get up there. And we're starting to look at like seaplanes and what's the round trip cost for a seaplane. It might make more sense just to stay up in the islands, just have moorage up there, even at transient moorage rates, which are kind of expensive, but we're talking, again, $10 a gallon for diesel. It might pencil out to just leave the boat up in the San Juans where we are, but wherever your further destination is, and really look at, is it cheaper just to fly back and forth and keep your boat there?
Yeah.
And it's faster to get there. So that's a go shorter that kind of makes a lot of sense as well. And the last one?
Go slower.
Now that might be kind of a duh, but this boat, when we're at, gosh, you know, 8 knots, 7 knots, we can go 2 nautical miles per gallon, which is pretty darn good, right? So we can get almost 800 nautical miles on that burn. Now, this is not a displacement hull, so when somebody goes by and wakes you, or if you have swells, this thing turns into a washing machine. Yeah, it's
bad.
It's bad. You get barfy on it, and you really want to get up on a plane to get much more comfortable. But when we're doing a full burn and we're cruising, right, we're closer to 0.8 nautical miles per gallon. But then again, we're cruising at 15 knots, so that's where you start figuring out where's your break even. Does it make more sense to go slow or go fast? But at the end of the day, going slow, especially on diesel engines, it's always going to be cheaper. The one thing to just keep an eye on is make sure to run your RPMs up on every trip. You know, get it up to that 80% burn for 10 minutes so you can blow everything out of your turbos and your exhaust as well as your valves, so you're not get coking in the engines. It's less of an issue now with the newer engines and the rail well, the rail fuel injectors that they have for diesels, they do a better job with it, but they're still not immune to it.
Right.
So that would be our recommendation. By the way, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't get to $10 a gallon. I hope the highest we'll see it is what it's at right now is $6.29. But
we'll see.
yeah, hopefully.
What are your bets?
That's right. Put down in the comments below what you think, or if we missed something and how you deal with high fuel prices. We'll get through this season. Take care.